You've had an absolute blast this weekend, making the U.S. team, of course, now a mile champion. Where did you come up with that arsenal from?
I know, it feels so weird. I kind of haven't, it hasn't sunk in at all. You know, the mile's never really been my thing. So far, I feel like in the beginning of my career, I kind of started off as like a 400 runner. Then, I moved up to the 8, and that's kind of where I had the most success so far. So, running the mile has always kind of been just, a little, if we're feeling like we're, just having fun a little bit. But yeah, I had a day of rest yesterday, and I was just like, why not? Again, why not just go for it? I say that to myself all the time. And I really, I felt confident in myself, and knowing that I have that kick, from my 800 and faster, speedier events. So I knew that I'd have that in me, and I thought that if I just stayed in contact with the front, that I could have a chance in the end. And I felt really confident going through. With about a lap to go, I was like, I have this. I feel really good, and yeah, that was a huge PR for me. So I'm really excited right now, and yeah, I just think I'm in really good shape, and yeah, I get to keep training now with Worlds. So.
How much extra motivation did you have yesterday based on what Mallory Weller did?
Yeah, Mallory's amazing. Coming, representing Indiana well. So I think just knowing that she went 4:31 and won the race, I actually thought about that during the mile. I started hurting a little bit. My brain's ready to stop after 2 laps, just because that's usually when I'm done running. So going into the 3rd lap, I kind of thought about how she really pushed that last 200 and closed in at 2:11, and was right behind Abby Hennessy. And I just watched an interview about her saying that she wanted to win really bad, and that she just kept staying in contact with Abby. So I was kind of thinking about the same situation with Tiara, who took it out really fast. So props to her. And I was just just stay right here, don't let off, don't let your brain fall asleep or anything like that. And going into the last 200, that's when I decided to take it, and yeah, kind of sprint from there.
you go through a lot of pain already through an 800. Where does this pain compare to that last 250 meters?
Yeah, someone was just asking me about that. Like I said, I feel like my body's kind of ready to stop after 800. Although it is, a slower pace through 800, obviously. But I think that mentally the mile is more difficult for me, just because it's longer than I usually am used to going. But I would say by the end of an 800, I was on Friday I was way more dead. I was puking. I was done. My body was so done. But this I felt like I had room to kick, and once I finished, I was just feeling adrenaline. I was excited, and so maybe that means I can go faster. I don't know, but I'd say it's probably not as painful yet as the 800 for me.
I was gonna say, do you still call yourself an 800 girly?
Definitely. I don't. 800 is still my baby. I just ran really faster than I ever have in the mile, so I don't know not quite sure what that means yet, but I think I still have a lot to explore on both ends. So.
Yeah, well, when you look at what North Carolina's been able to do in the mile the last couple of years, Barra obviously set the standard, obviously with the men and all it was done, but do you feel like you can also contribute at the NCAA level as a miler?
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. I think that once I go to college and go up in mileage a little bit and get some really good training under Coach Milt and the other staff, and being pushed by those other elite girls, that I could definitely have room to grow in the mile, and especially I'm a very low mileage right now, so I think that adding on those higher mileage and really good training group, that I'm only going to continue to climb. So I'm really excited for that.
How many miles would you say you run about a week?
So this is my first year actually tracking it, because as I was going through the recruiting process this past year, coaches are always asking me, and I'm I don't know. But so this year I actually tracked it, and I'm at 15 to 20 a week right now. So that's where I am now. So I just think that means I have a lot of room to grow, and I feel like that means I have a high ceiling. So I'm excited to keep going.
How do you not let that affect you? I mean, a lot of the girls in the field are probably running, a little bit more mileage. How do you not let that affect your confidence?
Yeah, I definitely think about that, and I'm these girls are a lot stronger, and have that higher mileage under their belt to push themselves. But I just think of it as I have a kick that I think I can use, and it works most of the time. So I just try to think about the skills that I have in my belt, being low mileage right now, and I know that being higher mileage just like brings other tools to the table. But I just think for me, like right now, it works, and having that kick is something that I can use to my advantage right now. So yeah,
you absolutely have that. Great job today.
thank you so much.